Hey folks, it's Brian with an RQG update. Session review. I was about to say RPG a day. Not anymore. Anyway, so we got to play RQG tonight. Kind of iffy. Excuse me. We kind of finished up the bandit ambush, and I was looking at what was going on, how many people went down, and who had already run. I made some what's it called? Valorous rolls for the rest of the bandits, and even the leader who had a pretty high valor, I think it was like 16. He rolled a 20. So a handful of them just outright, okay, this is not working out, guys. Let's go. And they split off, and when that happened, everybody else saw what was going on, and so they either surrendered or they ran. Now, while that's going on with these bandits, there's these three cultists coming up, which I had recalled that one of the players had actually gone to engage those guys, but he actually wanted to stay close to a restra so they didn't get, consumed, ganged up on, that kind of thing. So the blue cultist guys are coming up. They're not like running or anything. They're just coming up, see what's going on. They call the bandits cowards, and the dark waters will get them, and that kind of stuff, right? And I didn't want this to turn into the same sort of thing that happened with the hillside group, where they kill off the bandits and then they pick away at the fanatical cultists, and maybe take one or two captured, and that kind of thing. I just want to kind of avoid doing that again. So it made sense to me that the bandits that were in the top of the tower that saw the party coming, and they didn't make their valorous rolls either. Okay, these guys look pretty tough. I mean, that's a beast of gore. She kick ass on us. So they down the rope, went into a boat, went around. Well, they know of and do some coordination with, maybe, these darkness cultists that are in this area too. So they go and let them know, hey, there's this party out there. They came by the tower, but we don't know what they're doing. They do their own investigation, don't find them, so they go, what's going on? Go check them out. And so they're coming in on the parties as they're having the ambush going on, and the darkness cultists hate the water cultists, and the water cultists hate the darkness cultists too, right? And so that kind of thing going on. So the priestess of the darkness cult group here can actually summon a fire elemental, so she did that and sent it out after the water cultists. And she also has a fetch, and sent the fetch after the water cultist priest that was there. And with her stats plus the glamour going, she had glamour going. She was rocking the well, actually, she'd have done. That would have been the fetches. Pass glamour on the fetch to increase his. I kind of cheated that way. But anyway, 2 rounds of spirit combat. That guy's down. Fire Mother comes over, burns him to nothing. So I'm kind of talking through these things. So there's about 3 rounds of stuff happening, and the players go, wait, I want to do something. We all want to attack, we want to kill. Okay, whatever. Let's take care of that too. Okay. Subutai wants to shoot his bow and arrow. Let him shoot some arrows. But when the darkness cultists come out and call out the water cultists, and then the fire elemental is coming, and the water cultist priest has got spirit combat taking control of him. One of the water cultists was mounted on a giant river dragon. These giant crocodile things, 4 hexes big. It's a 2 hex tail swing and a bite for another hex kind of thing. So it's huge, right? Size like 45. But it doesn't really go very fast. They're kind of slow. So he failed his valorous roll, so he's taken off. And there's another water cultist fighter guy who's kind of going back and forth, back and forth. Do I stay in? But Subutai, or Juchi, rather, sorry. Juchi is shooting at him, so he's blocking with his thing, but he finally gets pierced. Was a critical success. Went through the shield, into his chest, enough to bring his chest down to 0 kind of thing. So, okay, yeah, he's down. And then starts shooting at the guy riding off in the abdomen, puts his abdomen to 0. He falls off. The giant crocodile stops. The party comes up. The guy can still fight from the ground. He's got his spear, so he's, on the ground swinging at him kind of thing. And so the player shaman brings his fetch over. Spirit combat. Went on for a few rounds, but the guy never was successful with his spirit combat, so he got trickled down to 0, goes unconscious. So they gag him, tie him up. Oh, but before they do that, once he goes unconscious, in fact, even once he's unconscious, really, the giant crocodile is, guarding over him like, faithful dog kind of thing, right? And after this is all over, I was thinking, I should have made it an enlightened beast. That would have helped a whole lot more. So maybe next time. So anyway, they're there. So Arestra and David are near enough to the croc that if they need to, they can run away. But close enough so they can see what's going on. And they're telling Juchi, shoot it in the eye. He shoots that a couple times. They got one stuck in the tail. But this thing's got 12 points of armor. Ping, ping, arrows pinging off left and right. So finally, David's like, in the eye, in the aim shot to the head. And he takes an extra round for an extra bonus of like plus 5%. And so he's half percentage plus 5. He's like 50. And he rolled a 3. Critical success. Right in the eye. Kills it outright. Yay. So they go and they chop it up. And there's actually a fight or an argument within the party on what to do with this giant crocodile. I mean, some people are talking about making armor or boots or something cool and fancy. This thing's huge. Get the head. The head's going to be like this big. Get that thing and mount it on something, that kind of deal. And so they end up taking the head, some teeth, and some claws, I think is what it was they end up taking. Because they didn't want to spend the time it would take to butcher this thing and skin it. Plus, okay, who's got, peaceful cut? Nobody. Okay, who's got animal lore at a decent percentage they can try and figure out how to skin this thing properly? Make some rolls. Okay, no, they're trying to catch the thing and they're just butchering it up. Okay, no, we're done. We're not going to do that. So, okay, what happened to the fire elemental and where did those other cultists go that were up on the hill? Fire elemental's gone. The other guy has been toasted. Taking 3d6 of damage. Every round for, half dozen rounds or so, right? So all his gear is trashed. And the people on the hill are gone too. So the shaman sends his owl. I hate that thing. Sends his owl out to go scan around for these guys. Yeah, he finds them. Yeah, they're just heading back towards the marsh. In fact, I think they're heading back towards the tower. And so the party's going, what's going on? But they make a little travois. They put the head on the travois. They take the 2 guys that are still alive, bandage them up. And there's a little kind of discussion, because if you do your first aid and you're not successful, guys are unconscious. Can you tell if they're really successful or not? And after I was reading through the thing, you take a round to stop their bleeding so that they don't die, kind of thing. And it's obvious that if you didn't do that, they're still bleeding, right? Bandages will start to show that. And so, okay, bandage didn't working, but they're obviously still bleeding, so they did the magical healing to keep these 2 guys alive. Good to go. It took some talking around that kind of thing, but because as far as I could tell, these guys were, 0 in the chest and 0 in the abdomen. They're going to be dead in 10 minutes. Unless we do something, right? And then how do you know if you're really successful in doing something? That was my kind of issue with trying to figure this stuff out. But, again, back to the rules. Look it up. I know some people, just make a ruling and run with it, but we're trying to learn the game as well. And since we only play every fortnight, we don't have a lot of experience with it. Um, you know, what does it say? Takes a round to stop bleeding. Okay, to stop bleeding. You didn't stop the bleeding because it's still bleeding. It's getting all red. It's that kind of thing. So they take them, hit two sisters. It's getting dark. Spend the night. Next morning they come out, and there's a ruckus down by the river. So they go and check what's going on. They found a body of a woman who had gotten her body caught in the pier. There's a pier on this side of the river. Pier on this side too, but it's on this side of the river. So they've dragged her out, and put her on the road, and people are standing around her, and the party kind of comes up, and a couple other folks that are there that are obvious. There's the two folks from the Lightbringer Temple. The head priest is an Orlanthe. He's kind of gruff. He doesn't like it here. But there is a Arnaldan priestess who is fanatical. So she's really reacting to this, and someone made a critical success in recognizing that this lady's got tattoos. Cult tattoos are similar to Arestra's, and so they go get Arestra because Arestra was watching the two bad guys, and so Jarstakos goes, takes her place. She comes down, and sure enough, this lady was an initiate of the Beast of Gore, and she was probably an associate member of Morangor. And so Arestra, and that's in the live play, by the way, if you want to see, because she's talking this out with the rest of the party, going, this is my speculation. I think this is. And as she's saying stuff to the party around this, people from the town will interject here and there. Yeah, there was the priestess and the Babista Gore. They were both mounted. There was the cart with two drivers. That was it. That's how big this caravan was, right? Not very big at all. And so Arestra's trying to figure out, okay, something happened where they got split, and the Babista Gore got captured, and then there was the cart and the Morangor priestess. They got captured, and they got taken this way, but there's still the two driver guys who water cultists probably got them, and the Babista Gore was apparently drowned, in the river kind of thing. So they're thinking some kind of sacrifice to the water gods kind of deal. And so there's communication stuff going on. But after that kind of settles down, they take the body to the Lightbringer Temple for preparation and interment kind of stuff. And Arestra hands over 15 lunars, to take care of property kind of thing. And then they head over to, they're thinking go to the Tanners, because they want to see if they can't get him to do some taxidermy on this head. And as they're going by, going towards the Tanners, because they've been there before, there's these rows of buildings that deal with butchery and with drying fish and that kind of thing. And the weapons thane, the weapons thane is here as kind of his gig. He's the butcher kind of guy. And so they're talking to him, and nobody believes how big this giant crocodile is. But he asks about the tail, crocodile tail. That's some good stuff. And they go down. Actually, they took him to show him the head. Holy cow, really? Yeah. And he goes, this is kind of, look how thick the skin is. I don't know if you can really make stuff out of this. But now that I think about it, you could probably skin it down enough. I don't know. How thick can you make cow skin? Not calf skin, right? A cow skin, because thick cattle leather, heavy leather armor is thick. But you can actually get it fairly thin. Maybe you have to keep shaving it down to get just really thin. So maybe they can get some out of it. But anyway, they go back to the tanner, talk to him, but he doesn't believe about how big this thing is. They show the head. Holy cow! And they ask him, can you do something to help, preserve this thing? Yeah, he can take it. Give him a couple weeks, he'll take care of it. And they ask, him about, tail meat and stuff. Goes, I don't know. You didn't talk to the weapon thing about that kind of stuff, but I understand it's pretty good. They are close enough to the marsh that they do get crocs on occasion. They also talked to Weapon Thane, who has his associates in Humakti, and they want to get their hand at trying to interrogate these guys too, but they fumbled their roll. Triple lot. Yeah, no, they didn't get anything. I probably should have got some false information out of them for that. 2020 hindsight. Anyway, so spend the night. They take the guys, and they're going to take them to Clearwine. So they head down to Runegate, ask the thing that Runegate wants to, interrogate these guys. Goes, yeah, I don't have that kind of stuff here. Yeah, better take her to the Queen. She'll take care of them. She'll get what she needs. And so they it's a 3-day trip from Runegate to Apple Lane to Black Spear to Clearwine. And so I'm just talking through, okay, 3 more days, checking on my calendar. What day is it? Oh, by the way, it's been pouring these last 2 days. Pouring rain these last 2 days, by the way. When I realized I didn't roll for random encounters. So I start rolling for random encounters. First one is a Dream Dragon. So they make some scan rolls. Yeah, there's a Dream Dragon rolling out there. I'm not going to have a real encounter that's not necessary. What does the Dream Dragon care about these people anyway? It's flying around for something, though, right? I've got a plan for that. So they spot it. Davin's got Fear of Dragons, which he missed, so he's okay. But he goes, yeah, that's got to be a dragon. So they, looking at it, that kind of thing. But it's just flying around up there, doing his thing. The rest of the encounters were like Starlight herders and patrols, that kind of thing. Talking all night makes my throat dry. So they get to Clearwine at this. Oh, previous to this point, when we were back at Two Sisters, one of the players had to drop out to go take his dog out, and we were getting close time anyway. So we just kind of narrate through to get to the Clearwine, and at this point it's like 11:40, I think. We normally close it, by midnight. So we went ahead, just called it there, and that was our session. It did get kind of delay-ish. In fact, there's a spot in the live play where I actually paused it because they're talking about other stuff, the players. Well, I'm trying to dig through on trying to fix the whole bandit ambush water cultist situation, and put question marks back into the players' heads. Oh, but I guess that's it. Hey, happy gaming.